NFL, Thanksgiving, some good games on.
Good football.
But Ndamukong Suh, of course, got to talk about that and him stomping a Packer, which I thought was tremendous.
I thought the best part was him just leveraging the guy's head into the ground over and over.
Get off me! He's hanging on to me. I can't get him. It's like Velcro.
And then the forearm stomp right to the.
But he was leaning away. You see,
right?
He was leaning away.
And then the post game, the man upstairs knows what I did.
This is we have a basement in this place. Would this be the upstairs?
This would be the upstairs compared to the basement.
Are we the men upstairs?
But who would be the men upstairs? Because this is a single level on the top.
I don't think we've had this place reshingled in years, so I don't know. As far as the man upstairs.
What do we make of that? What do we make of the Ndamukong Suh?
It's a little much. We'll see what the suspension brings. We haven't heard. It'll probably be 2 games.
I hope it is.
I mean, is it that bad?
Learn a lesson.
Is it because he's a repeat offender? He's a very dirty...
Yes, it is. And I think even last year, he comes into the league, one of those preseason games,
obviously,
just destroys Jake Delhomme. And it's like, this guy is going to be... He's either a really bad man or he's just a... He plays the game like he should. Like it's supposed to be played, with the exception of stomping on guys and picking up personal fouls that are just
taking
ridiculous.
helmets off and ripping them off.
Right. That stuff, not needed. But I love the aggression.
Yep.
I'll drive any quarterback 20 yards back if that's what it takes.
20 yards back and 20 yards down.
Right. And he hits hard. I like it.
Yeah.
The forearm stomp, not needed.
Not needed. He did this early in his career to send a message saying, this is who I am.
Yep.
And even if he does nothing like this the rest of his career, this is going to follow him for the next 10 years.
He's labeled a dirty player.
Yes.
And I'm not really sure how that comes away. I think one of the people I heard pundits...
Was it Merrill Hodge?
It was not Merrill Hodge.
Thank God.
But Mean Joe Green being one of those guys.
That was Chris Berman.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Who was labeled a mean player, and he never really escaped that persona. Even if he wasn't a dirty player later in his career, never had those incidents. I think it's interesting with Suh. The really only college game where we remember Suh is the Texas game where he just repeatedly pummeled Colt McCoy into submission, and it was a great game for Suh. But he hit him pretty hard over and over again. I don't remember how many penalties, if there were any called in that game, on him.
Charlie would know. Yeah,
Charlie would know. And then now it's a lot of similar stuff as far as how hard is he hitting the quarterbacks, and the nature of the rule can be debated over and over. But now he's a dirty player in the NFL, even if he wasn't in college.
Brian Robinson, we showed a video a month or so ago against the Packers. He's laying on the ground. He kicks a guy right in the groin.
Yep.
That is way worse than what Suh did. Or not?
No.
It's not.
They're equal.
They're equal.
They're equally bad because you got the groin punch. Bad.
No, a groin kick.
It
was a kick.
Groin kick. Yep.
He's cleats. Sharp, pointy things. Cleats.
He did it. He did do that. Suh stomps on the guy who's a defenseless. If there's ever been a defenseless player in the NFL, stomping on a guy laying down is defenseless.
Yeah.
But I think they're equally bad. I think Robinson probably was deserving of a suspension. It didn't happen. And now you got Suh, because he's a repeat offender, is going to get suspended at least 1 game.
It was Albert Hainsworth that stomped on somebody's head without a helmet, wasn't it? I think that's worse than all of this.
That is the worst.
Taking a cleat to the temple.
Yep.
By a 330-pound gentleman.
I think, and Jay Glazer reporting that the Lions players were kind of disciplining Suh afterwards on Friday, kind of saying, dude, you got to stop doing this. I mean, you're killing us. And I think whether or not he puts any weight in that will be interesting. I think it's different when Roger Goodell says you can't play. It's different when your own teammates are saying, dude, you got to stop doing this. You're killing our team. We just can't be giving up 15-yard penalties to a team like the Packers, who was going to obliterate them the way it was.
Yeah. Tim Tebow, he won again, 5-1. Their defense has been playing really well. That's a big reason why they've turned things around and are a game out of the playoffs right now. But, what do you make of the whole thing, how everybody goes nuts, regardless of what happens every week, when he completes his 8 passes in 15 attempts and he runs for his 70 yards. And it's the comebacks every week, the fourth quarter drives, the last second touchdowns, the whole thing. It's just incredible. I don't want this train to end anytime soon.
It is incredible. At first I was really sick of all the attention that he was getting because it was so overbearing. But when you think about Tim Tebow as a quarterback, he's not a very good passer. He's usually below 50%. That's amazing that any quarterback is still playing when you're that bad. But he's winning games. Yep. There's no questioning that, regardless of the fact that the defense keeps him in it, and he's got a pretty good running back in Willis McGahee. Now, I think overdoing it has been done. When it's
because what more is there to say?
Right.
Wait till the season is done.
He's a really bad quarterback who's winning games. This happens all the time. We see, for crying out loud, Gus Frerotte and Tavares Jackson tag team to get the Vikings a division.
To 10-6.
Yeah. So this stuff happens. I don't think I think they're overdoing it. I think my main beef with it is that, okay, on Monday we talk about Sunday. On Thursday it's time to be done talking about Sunday and we move on and we talk about something else. And I think mainly it's our competitors at First Take, Skip Bayless, who just, not to use the bad pun, but worships Tim Tebow to the point where it's unbearable. And I didn't watch that show to begin with, but
because I used to watch it, I don't watch it much anymore. But I would flip, and it would be like 3 out of 4 times I would flip at random times, and that's what they would be talking about.
It's like, give it up.
Like, how does that happen?
Let's talk about Tim Tebow and his receivers. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about Tim Tebow and what he had for dinner last night. It's quite...
This guy, you're on one side of the fence or you're not. And nothing besides winning a Super Bowl, I believe, will change anybody's opinion.
Well, and then there's another element where, okay, he's got a decent chance of getting into the playoffs somehow. Whether it be winning the division or backing in some other way.
Because they have Kansas City at the end of the year. They have Minnesota next week. 2 very winnable games. That gets you up to 8.
Yep.
Probably going to need 10 to guarantee you. Maybe you can slip in a 9.
And right now, Tim Tebow does not lose, so they're pretty much sealed. I think the part that is kind of baffling is, okay, they cut Kyle Orton. Mm-hmm. They put the faith in Tim Tebow. Now John Elway says, well, he's not our quarterback, for sure. It's like, wait, you used the first-round pick on him.
He didn't.
Pat Bowlen.
McDaniels did.
Yes. Okay. So now you've got Tebow. Okay, you put faith in him, but not too much faith in him. We still want you to, play like you're working for your job. And then, hey, if we have a bad draft pick, we might pick another quarterback next year.
Do they pick a quarterback next year? I mean, they're going to probably pick, lower teens.
Yeah. I don't think you can pick a quarterback. Because now you've sunk a lot into Tebow. Regardless of whether you want to admit that or not, they have. I think, and he's winning. He's winning. If he gets to the point where, okay, he's 6-10 as a starter next year, or he's 4-12, then you've got reason to get rid of him, or you've got reason to make a change. Right now, he's winning. He's finding a way. He's captivating your fan base in a way that no other player would be able to do it. You got to let it ride with Tim Tebow right now.
The Jets game was not fun to watch. This Chargers game Sunday was not fun to watch. But you watch it because at the end there's going to be that moment where everybody's going to talk about it for the next week. And you cannot miss that moment where he runs for the 20-yard touchdown versus the Jets, or they go to the last minute of overtime versus the Chargers. You go through the 3 hours of muck to get those 10 seconds of, my God,
it's like
that happened again.
That happened again, yeah. And I think so much is made of the Tim Tebow, all the plays that he can't make. He's a pretty apt runner, and every once in a while he'll hit Eric Decker 30 yards downfield for a decent gain. And he put together a pretty good drive against the Jets, 90-some yards, and then does it to set up the game-winning field goal against the Chargers. I think you're right. A lot of muck to find the gold in the end of the game. I was really rooting for a tie in that game.
I've never seen a tie. Personally, I've never watched a game that's ended in a tie.
Steelers-Falcons 7 years back. So that game was on. I watched most of it tie. Donovan McNabb was just... had no idea that could happen.
Oh, it happened.
Oh, a tie.
I mean, I've seen my share of soccer ties in my life.
Yes, and those are captivating.
That just leaves like, well, I've been here for 2.5 hours and nothing got accomplished.
How angry would you be if you were in person for a tie at an NFL game?
Yeah, nobody won. My team didn't win. My team didn't lose. It's like it never really happened. It's like it never happened, but in the standings, it's pretty much the same thing as a loss.
Pretty much, because they judge you on winning percentage. You don't get a win for that game.
No.